The Russian president and his American counterpart are expected to discuss the Ukraine conflict and the normalization of relations in a phone call today, according to an announcement from the Kremlin. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov stated that Russian President Vladimir Putin and U.S. President Donald Trump will have the phone call around 4-6 p.m. today, 8:10 p.m. Hanoi time. He mentioned that the two leaders have a certain understanding from their previous phone call on February 12 and recent high-level dialogues, but many issues still need to be discussed. The two sides will exchange views as long as necessary. There are many issues ranging from the normalization of relations to the conflict in Ukraine, and all of these will be discussed by the two presidents, said Peskov. President Trump had previously announced he would discuss with President Putin the possibility of ending the fighting in Ukraine. "I think we have a very good opportunity to do that," Trump said, although he acknowledged that the discussion could succeed or could fail. After a meeting between U.S. and Ukrainian delegations in Saudi Arabia last week, Kyiv announced its acceptance of a 30-day ceasefire proposal put forward by Washington. President Putin declared that Russia supports proposals aimed at ending the Ukraine conflict, including a 30-day ceasefire, provided that they are directed towards long-term peace and address the root causes of the conflict. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio on March 16 described the discussion with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov the day before as promising and expressed hope that something would be announced soon. U.S. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz suggested that Ukraine might have to concede some territory to Russia when asked if the ceasefire agreement would require Kyiv to give up the Donbas region, which includes the Donetsk and Luhansk provinces, of which Moscow currently controls a large part. Waltz also emphasized that the possibility of Ukraine being provided with a roadmap for NATO membership or alliance status is extremely unlikely. Steve Witkoff, President Trump's special envoy, stated that it is too early to discuss the possibility of the U.S. recognizing the territory currently controlled by Russia. Russia has stated that Ukraine's pursuit of NATO membership is one of the reasons for the conflict. Ukraine enshrined this goal in its constitution in 2019. Despite warnings from Russia that the deployment of NATO forces and weapons close to its border would pose an unacceptable security threat, NATO agreed in 2008 on the possibility of Ukraine joining the alliance, but the US and Germany have recently withdrawn their support for this move due to concerns about the risk of NATO being drawn into direct conflict with Russia. Meanwhile, Kyiv has repeatedly reiterated that it will not concede territory in peace agreements.